Good morning, everybody. I wanted to do a video today, and I realized I should probably start making YouTube videos. I know my son's really getting on me to make YouTube videos, and I think at some point I probably need to start looking into that. But I'm doing some tasks here in the kitchen today on the farm, and one of them is I have some food-grade mineral oil. And every couple of months, I like to season my cutting boards, my wood cutting boards. I have a real affinity for wood cutting boards. And it's nice every once in a while. It's healthy for the wood. Look how beautiful. To just get some food grade mineral oil and allow it to soak into the wood. So once I slather this on here and let it soak in, I'll just set it aside and I'll let it soak in for the next 24 hours, 48 hours. I'll rinse it off real good. But I try to get all sides. This is one of my favorite boards. It's beautiful. It's got a little split in it though, which concerns me just a little bit. But you know, it's not the end of the world. But I do love it. Now, meats are never cut on these boards. A, I don't eat meat. B, the meat eaters in this family know not to use my cutting boards for meat. So this is just solely for vegetables and such. Doesn't really need it on the back, but I'm gonna go ahead. If you decide to ever season your cutting boards, your wood cutting boards, make sure the mineral oil that you use is food grade mineral oil. You can get it at the hardware store. You can get it at the pharmacy at Walmart. You don't have to go anywhere special. I did order some online because I have a lot that I treat. So that's my beautiful, beautiful cutting board. But that's not all I'm going to do with this mineral oil today. I am trying something new today and I'm bringing you along. What kind of trouble am I going to get myself into today? Winter's coming. The chickens are going to stop laying. I'm not going to force them to lay through the winter. They're older, so I'm not going to put a light in the coop. We'll take what we can get. But in the meantime, Jim and I are getting more eggs than what we can eat. So what I'm going to attempt to do today is an old, I don't want to say trick, I'm going to say method, an old method that the pioneers used to use to preserve their eggs through the winter. So I'm actually going to oil my eggs today. And the theory is, and I've done some research on this, it's supposed to work very well. When eggs are laid by the chicken, the chicken deposits a bloom on the outer coating of the egg. That keeps the air from penetrating the egg. It keeps bacteria out. And, you know, if you have an egg that might be compromised in some way, if you wash the egg, certainly it's going to be compromised. The air gets into the egg. That's what makes the egg go bad. So, I have not washed these eggs. These eggs are good on my countertop for a few weeks, no problem. But what I want to do is I want to start putting eggs away for the winter. Now, according to the theory, if this is correct, and if it isn't, it's okay, we're not going to starve. I can always go get eggs from one of the other farmers. I should be able to oil these eggs, put them in this container, and keep them in a cool, dry place, and they will last me up to 8 to 9 months. So all I'm going to do is, like I said, I didn't wash them, but I am going to oil them. So I'm just going to take that mineral oil and just completely coat this egg. Now, if you were to ever look at an eggshell up close, you would see that it has microscopic little pores in it, and that's what you want to prevent any air from entering into the egg. Now, the second part of this, once I've got this completely covered in mineral oil, is when you look at an egg, you have the blunt part and the pointy part. The pointy part, when you store any egg, regardless of whether you get it from the farm or whether you get it at the store, make sure your pointy part is down. The round part of the egg up here at the top, if you've ever hard-boiled an egg, which I'm sure all of you have, and you go to peel it, there's always a little indentation up here. There's an air sac up in here. And that air sac is viable to a chick, very important to a chick when a chick is developing and before they hatch. But this air sac, there's air trapped in here right now. if I put this in the carton this way, eventually that air is going to work its way to the top, and as it's doing it, it's ruining the egg. But if I store it this way and keep it up at the top, it's going to help me preserve this egg, like I said, in a cool, dry place for, we're hoping, 6, 8, 7, 8, 9 months. I'm going to try it. Now what I will be doing is I will be oiling all of these eggs thoroughly, placing them in a nice sturdy container, and I'm going to stash them away somewhere cool and dry and dark throughout the winter. Then when I'm ready to try them, I'm going to do the water float test on them. I will put them in a container of water, see if they pass that test. Then I'll crack them open and I will give them a good old sniff and a vision test, see how they do, how they smell, how they look, if they look like they're going to be viable. And I'll probably use them in baking or some egg dishes. I probably won't use them for like fried eggs. I'm not sure how the structural integrity will be of the yolk, but I am going to do my best to utilize them in the winter months. And if this works well, then next year when my chickens are laying, instead of giving away so many eggs, or sometimes if I just can't use them, I try to find ways to save them in the freezer, or I'll throw some of the smaller ones back to the chickens so they can eat them for the nutrients and for the calcium. But I might just start oiling them. So that's what I'm doing here on the farm today. I'm oiling eggs. I'm seasoning all of my wood cooking, my cutting boards. I showed one, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I have 7 or 8 more over there. I love my cutting boards. I can't help it. Jim makes fun of me because sometimes he'll go out to the car and he'll see that I've got more that I've spent money on. I've gone out and I've bought more. So I'm just going to move these out of the way here a little bit. Look at that. Aren't those beautiful? Look at those beautiful eggs. I thought this was something yucky on there. That's just a blemish on the... That's a characteristic of the shell there. Look at how nice my nails are looking too with all that oil on there. Also, this is healthy for your cuticles. Look at that. 3 tips. Cutting boards, farm fresh eggs, and cuticle care. Now don't do this with store-bought eggs. Store-bought eggs have already been washed and processed. And if you think your store-bought eggs are just a few days old when you get them, you better look into that. Maybe think again. Some of those eggs are up to 45 days old when you get them. So they've already been processed. They haven't been oiled, but they go through their own process. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get back to work here. We'll talk to everybody later. See ya and have a great day. Bye-bye.